Okay, so before I start this video, it could be said by some people that this may not be the platform, forum, place to discuss what I'm about to discuss. And to those people I say, fuck you. This is the only platform I have. And honestly, I didn't think I'd ever find myself making this type of video on a video game channel. But it does kind of tie in because politicians and think tanks and all types of nonsense groups and agencies like to blame video games for violence. You're probably wondering what I'm talking about. I'm not very happy. I'm appalled. Chris Kaba, killed, murdered, executed by the Metropolitan Police, London Metropolitan Police of the UK. Unarmed Chris Kaba, age 24 Chris Kaba, a rapper Chris Kaba, artist, musician, whatever you want to say. Killed, homicide on the streets of London. Another disenfranchised human being. Courtesy of the bbc.co.uk, link can be found in the description. A criminal investigation is underway after the police watchdog said it would investigate the shooting of an unarmed black man as a homicide. Chris Kaba, 24, died after a police pursuit of a car ended in Streatham Hill, an area I know very well, South London, Monday night. The Independent Officer for Police Conduct, IOPC, said the development, and I quote, does not mean that criminal charges will necessarily follow. End of quote. Now, where have we heard that before? It doesn't matter what country you're in. Where have we heard that before? No accountability. Mr. Kaba's family has welcomed the decision of the inquiry and has called on the IOPC to use all its powers to make this an effective criminal, I emphasize criminal, investigation so the police are held to account. Gang. The police. The biggest gang in the world, no matter where you live. The Kaba family has said it would like to give a heartfelt thank you to everyone who has supported the family in its call for this criminal investigation, and also added that the family had been calling on for a homicide investigation into the death from the outset, having previously accused the Met Police, this is prior to the murder, the Met Police of being totally racist. The Met Police say it is fully cooperating with the IOPC like they have any choice, and that its thoughts and sympathies remain with Mr. Kaba's friends and family. Oh. I'm sure they're very grateful. Now, Mr. Kaba died after a single gunshot was fired at around 10 p.m. British Standard Time by a specialist firearms officer. Now, the specialist firearms officer, they're not normal police just walking up and down. In the UK, we don't have armed police. You call these people out when it's time to boogie, when it's time to put somebody down. Now, this firearms officer, specialist firearms officer, is no longer on operational duties according to Scotland Yard. So the IOPC said that although the officer is in criminal investigation, and his conduct is also being investigated, I quote, I'll read between the lines here, it doesn't necessarily mean that they will end up facing criminal charges or a misconduct hearing even. Can you believe it? Can you Adam and Eve it? Now, an automatic number plate recognition camera had indicated the vehicle driven by Mr. Kaba, which was not registered to him, was linked to a firearms incident in the previous days leading up to the execution, the IOPC said. Maybe they didn't use the word execution, that's me. Now, the Audi was rammed in by 2 police cars in the narrow residential street of Kirkstall Gardens. And if you're from the US, you'll know that our streets are narrow. It's like walking down a funnel compared to you guys, where you guys live. So the Audi, as I say, was rammed by these 2 police cars. There's like 5 officers on the scene, helicopters. The IOPC said that CPR was immediately given by the officers and support requested from the ambulance service. But alas, Mr. Kaba died in hospital around 12 midnight. Mr. Kaba, who was due to become a father, was an artiste. I don't like the word rapper. He was an artist, a music artist known as Maddox or Maddich, part of the the Mobo nominated drill group 6-7. And look, people like to say, oh, he was a drill artist, he was a rapper. See, it was about that life. He was about that life. Some people will be, saying that if you're involved in all that stuff, that's what happens, ops and all that stuff. Listen, some of the biggest mass murderers of the 20th century did not listen to rap music. They listened to Mozart and Beethoven and rock music. So I'm tired of hearing that this music is causing people. Yes, there are susceptible people who have problems anyway. They could read a nursery rhyme and take some kind of discourse from it and act out on it. What are you going to say? Let's no longer watch Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone, Bruce Willis movies. No more movies with guns. No more movies with death. Let's just, no, I don't hear anyone blaming novels and movies, theatrical productions. It's always rap music. Always rap. So his mother, Mr. Kaba's mother, Helen Nakama, speaking through tears, told the BBC on Wednesday, I quote, "My heart is broken. I am speechless." End of quote. So in a statement before Friday's announcement, the family added, "We are devastated. We need answers and we need accountability." The key word, accountability. "And we are worried that if Chris had not been black, he would have been arrested on Monday evening and not had his life cut short." So why did they have to fire that one shot, point blank range, through the windscreen, killing this guy within 2 hours? Why didn't they shoot him, as his father said, in the leg? In the leg, and arrest him so he would still live. He wasn't even armed. As far as I know, he wasn't even going on with any Aggie. They didn't even mention aggro. He didn't have time. They just shot. Bang, bang. Good night. I've just destroyed your child's chance of having a father figure, a natural father figure, birth father figure. I've robbed the child's mother of her partner. I've robbed this man's mother of a son. This man's father of a son. I've robbed this man of a destiny, of self-determination. I'm not saying he was a saint. I don't care. At the time of the interaction, he was not armed. That's all I care about. So the Met's Assistant Commissioner, Amanda Pearson, said that she absolutely understands that this shooting is a matter of grave concern. What a word to use, grave, because that's where Chris is going. Particularly for our black communities. This affects everybody, by the way. This does just not affect black community. This affects everyone. Injustice affects everybody. Inequality affects everybody. She said, "I also know what a difficult and often dangerous job firearms officers in particular do every day to try to protect the public." Oh, it's dangerous. They got the gun. Must be dangerous. They understand and expect that on very rare occasions they discharge Mark Duggan their weapons, they will face intense scrutiny. I don't underestimate the impact on them of this development. Doesn't it sound like there's an awful lot of sympathy for the police? Doesn't it? Yeah, you'd expect that from police. They look after their own, don't they? Well, as I say, the police are indeed the biggest gang out there. Gang. Fuck the police, man. Fuck the police. I don't care if YouTube attempts to demonetize a video that's not going to be monetized, because I have no interest in profiting off the misery of a brother. Talking about brothers and sisters of all ethnicities of the UK and the world, Canada, America, Brazil, Africa, wherever you may be, it's time to drop the ops, the bad mind and the hate that we have, some of us, for one another. We have to tackle our own issues. We can only rely on ourselves, because the powers that be do not give two fucks if we live or die. It is proven it will assist with the latter. Chris Kaba, George Floyd. I could reel names off. I don't want to. I go on the internet now, just a bunch of names. All the black people killed by police. Unarmed black people. Killed by police. And white people. By police. From 2020 to now, I'll be here all day. Video will... I am very, very, very depressed about this. So the Metropolitan Police executed a young, unarmed, non-combatant black man named Chris Kaba. The police could have arrested him for questioning if that was their intent without shooting him, but young Chris is now in no condition to answer questions. Yes, an inquiry has begun, but we don't need a fucking inquiry to know this was murder.